Hi, Lisa Wilson, Human Resources Cultural Consultant and Leadership Vision Coach. It's starting to look like spring, very exciting. Wanted to talk a little bit today about the idea of keeping your focus in the right places. But two things come when we aren't focused in the right place. So I'm going to share a couple of stories and hopefully give the idea through this. At the beginning of the month, I was in a speaking competition. Now, while I look comfortable doing this, and I am pretty comfortable doing Facebook Lives, doing a speaking competition is a whole different thing. There's an expectation of using your entire screen. So I needed to move within the screen. So sitting wasn't allowed. I needed to be standing up. And there was just different things that needed to be done. The expectation is that you memorize your speech. I don't do that here. I have some points written down and I just speak them. So very different for me. Now, I didn't win the competition. And while I was a little bit disappointed, I tried to remember that that's not why I was in there. I was in there to up the level of my speaking. And in doing that, I did, because I had to practice that speech. It was only 5 to 7 minutes. I had to practice it for like 2 months because there was actually 2 levels. The first level I got through very easily. There was only myself in that level. So I did have to do the speech, but as long as I didn't go over my time, I was fine in moving through. But the second one, it was actually competition. And while it was disappointing, the reality was I did accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I practiced a speech and I did it in a different way, and I upped my speaking ability. So I needed to celebrate that. Well, yeah, disappointing that I didn't win. You really do need to celebrate the wins and really keep your eye on what was the purpose. This came up again this week. I decided to take a day off, and a couple of great things came out of this. But the first piece was we were going to take the day off on Monday to go to Costco in Sudbury. So it's about a 4-hour trip from where I live in Timmins. And we just wanted we needed to get out. I mean, we've all been stuck home for a long time, and normally we would do way more road trips than what we've done in the last year. And so we thought, whatever, we're just going to take the day. We're going to drive the 4 hours. We'll get up early, drive the 4 hours, go to Costco and come home. Very simple. No, not so much. Costco actually, where Costco is in Sudbury, they actually have gone back into lockdown. So they had a whole spike of cases and it's gone back into lockdown. So now it wasn't safe for us to go. And we sat and we were discussing what we should do instead. Should we go to a further Costco that was like 6 hours away? And that's like 12 hours of driving in a day because we weren't really comfortable with staying in a hotel. And that area also has more cases than what we have. So going back and forth, do we drive all the way to Ottawa and go stay at his sister's because we know they're okay? And anyway, all of this debate on what to do. And then we took a step back and went, okay, what is the actual purpose of this? While we do need some things at Costco, we will survive without them. So what's the actual purpose of this day? And what do we want to do here? And the purpose really was to get out and do something different. So rather than find the best Costco, we actually still just took the day. We went, made the destination a cheese factory that's about 2 hours from here. And then we made some different stops in between. We found a Mennonite store, which had some amazing baking. We went and checked out some trailers, obviously all safely through with COVID and in places that had around the same cases that we were. So there's not a lot of concern. We have very few cases where I live. So again, it's that view of what is the purpose here? And if the purpose was, yes, just Costco, then we could have just said, okay, never mind, we're not going and we'll both stay home and work for the day. But that wasn't the purpose. The purpose really was to change our view. So when we have a goal, we need to keep that view. We get sometimes so focused and we forget to look at, okay, what was the actual purpose here? And that was the purpose. And that we succeeded in. We got out for the day. We really enjoyed the day. And the next piece of that is you need to celebrate those wins. So the whole idea of the speech competition, while no, I didn't win, I needed to celebrate that. I did something that was way outside of my comfort zone and something I never thought I would do. And I did it. And I did it in a very weird way because it had to be done now online in my office. I had to set up the camera and do very different things than what you would normally do. Not just prepare a speech and go give it in front of people. I also had to figure out all the background. So that's exciting and that needs to be celebrated. Then the other thing that happened is while I was away Monday, March has been an incredibly busy month for me. I'm working on some projects in the back end of my business, and it's been really busy trying to keep up with them because I do have a deadline on them. They have to be done by the end of the month. So, in making sure all of this is happening, I've brought in help. And on Monday, while I was away, if this is to my other entrepreneurs, when you run the business doesn't move unless you're here. Because I had this help, I was away on Monday. I didn't look at my phone, but when I got home, I did. And two of the things that I needed to get done got done because other people were working on them while I was gone. And that was such a huge relief. And again, another piece that needed to be celebrated. So don't get so focused that you forget those two things. One, what's the bigger vision here? What's the purpose? And the other piece is this needs to be celebrated. All the small steps along the way need to be celebrated. And the better you get at that, the better the celebration will be at the end when you actually reach the goal that you were trying to get to. So a couple things coming up. I've got the next Leading with Ease course starting in April. It starts the week of April 12th. There's two options, Wednesdays at noon or Thursdays at 2. It is an 8-week course. We do 1 hour a week for 8 weeks because I find that's the easiest for people. It can usually give me up to an hour a week. And as always, if you want to book a call with me, you can do that. I give away free 20-minute calls. They are no obligation calls. They're just, if you need to have a conversation about this or any other topic, you can do so. And last but not least, I send emails out with the same type of information that I'm sharing in these videos. If you would like to receive that email, I've added the sign up for you, and it will be in the comments. It should be going through now. So have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the spring weather. I'm excited and not so excited about the spring weather. I wanted to get a little bit more skiing in this year, but that's okay. It's almost time to plant the garden. Have a wonderful weekend.